up on Fulton Today, Fulton commissioners call a special meeting to address next year's spending plan. And Fulton's county manager goes to court. We'll tell you why. Fulton Today starts right now. Welcome to Fulton Today, everyone. Fulton's finance experts lay out the scenario for next year's spending plan. Fulton commissioners held a special call meeting, and one thing was made clear. Major decisions will have to be made to close the budget gap. FGTV's Priscilla Ortega was at the special call meeting. Priscilla?
When finance officials presented the draft budget to the Board of Commissioners, it already included a reduction of $26.5 million. Now, over the next several weeks, commissioners will have to look at the budget and decide what it can cut with minimal impact on services. During a special call meeting, the Finance Department laid out their proposed budget that differed from past years.
The 2016 budget represents a philosophical shift away from simply paying for costs and instead is focused on investing for outcomes.
The proposed general fund budget for 2016 is $648 million. That number was presented with the county's priority areas as the focus. The priorities include all people are healthy, safe, self-sufficient, have economic opportunities, are culturally and recreationally enriched, and trust government is efficient. A dollar amount was allotted for each priority.
I'll say that, in my opinion, this is one of the best proposed budgets that we've had.
The finance team also showed commissioners options on what would happen if the county raised its millage rate in the South Fulton Service District.
In a nutshell, you as a board, we're asking the budget to be approved with the first column. The fiscal 16 budget includes that. If you want to do more, we just laid out these options for you to see what you would be buying.
That money would go towards new police officers and firefighters, as well as enhancements for the parks. The county is also expected to generate revenue from the sale of some facilities. This is the final week commissioners are holding community feedback sessions where residents can give their input on the budget. Now you can see the list of the sessions at fultoncountyga.gov. Now residents can also give their last input on the budget at the first board meeting in January. Reporting from Assembly Hall, I'm Priscilla Ortega for FGTV.
Thank you very much. Meanwhile, residents get a chance to weigh in on the services for the county's aging and youth programs. The county has held nearly 20 strategic planning forums over the last few months to get citizens' input on how the county can best serve their needs.
There were a number of recurring themes from all of the forums that kind of overlapped the children and youth events that we had, as well as the aging. Some of those were focused on family, socioeconomic opportunities, transportation, safety was a big theme that came out of those forums.
The county looked at programs currently offered and came up with a new model to serve our seniors and our youth.
The bottom line essentially is to make sure that our older Americans are not institutionalized or prematurely institutionalized, and that they can age in place safely, healthy, and wholly. The bottom line for our children and youth is that they can actually achieve the career to golden years. We want to make sure they have opportunities to education, to training, to safe environments, and that they will eventually trust that Fulton County does what we promised we would do.
The county's aging and youth staff plan to start looking for federal dollars as an option to increase their services. Fulton's top executive pays a visit to one of the county's courts of record.
Thank you for having me.
Dick Anderson stopped by the Fulton County Probate Court and was greeted by Judge Pinky Toomer. Probate court judges in Georgia hear certain misdemeanors and traffic cases. The court also handles estates, wills, along with marriage and firearm licenses. One of the more interesting stops on his tour was the records room.
So in this room are many of the records, I assume. Yes. And if you go all the way to the top of this particular stack, not only do you get back to Fulton County in 1897, you go all the way back to Campbell County.
Yes.
Now,
very old records here.
Judge Toomer explains why the court was first called the Court of Ordinary.
We like to think that the Court of Ordinary had to do with the place where you came to do the ordinary business of the people. And it started out as a ecclesiastical court in the 1700s when the colonies were first settled. But then Court of Ordinary is where you come to do the business of estate work and marriage licenses, etc.
Judge Toomer also explains the court's record room is also a great place to conduct historical research. The manager was interested in learning how his team could help improve what he called the most intense customer service aspect of the Justice Center. Well, Fulton County Police say 'tis the season to be cautious. That's because criminals this time of year try to take advantage of holiday shoppers and holiday travelers. Detective Melissa Parker is with the Fulton County Police Department. Detective, welcome back to Fulton Today.
Hi, Shania. Thank you for having me.
All right, we have a lot to go over, but first let's talk about holiday safety in the home.
It's always a good idea when you're not home to have exterior lights on. A back porch light or front porch light. And of course, a motion sensor is a great thing to have if you can pick one of those up from Lowe's or Home Depot. That way anyone who comes close to your house or walks around your house would be seen. The light would come on and that would alert. If you are not in the house, it would at least alert your neighbors that something's going on next door. If you're going out of town or even leaving for the day or 2 days, make sure that your newspapers are not lying in your front driveway. Ask a neighbor to come by and pick up your newspapers and even check the mail for you. A lot of perpetrators go door to door and check mailboxes just to see if the mail is piling up or if someone might be home checking on the house or still there for the holidays.
And Detective, what about if someone is traveling?
If you're traveling out of town for the holidays, going anywhere at all for the holidays, number one, you want to have a full tank of gas. Keep gas in your car so that you don't have to stop at an unfamiliar location. If you do need to stop while you're out or away on travel, make sure it's a well-lit area. If you see anyone standing around the gas station or just lurking around the parking lot, stay in your car until that person is gone. If you feel like there could be a threat in any way, stay in your car and leave your doors locked.
And now let's switch gears a little bit and talk about some tips for those shoppers.
When you're out shopping for the holidays, many people make purchases, come out to their vehicle, they'll put their packages back in their car, lock their car up, and walk back into another store. If you're going to make trips to and from your car, I know parking is bad. It's very difficult to find parking spaces during the holiday season. However, when you come back to your vehicle, put your packages in your trunk versus the back seat, get in your vehicle, and drive away as if you're leaving. If you still need to do more shopping in the same parking lot, move your car to another space. Believe me, there are people who are out there lurking and just watching for that type incident.
And I see the governor's campaign again for drinking and driving. Word to the wise?
We can only say one thing about drinking and driving, and that's don't do it. If you do have friends that are out at a party with you or even just at a restaurant or at a friend's house and you feel like they've been drinking, please get them a ride home, call a taxi or call a friend or drive them yourself. If you have been drinking, then you might not be aware of how much danger that you could cause. You could injure yourself, someone else in the car, or someone else on the roadway. So please just do not drink and drive, and don't let your friends drink and drive.
And Detective, give us your final tips for this holiday season.
Be very cautious with your children during the holiday season, as any time. Keep an eye on your children. You want to know where they are at all times. The stores, the malls, everything will be crowded. The streets will be crowded. The parking lots will be crowded. People are not necessarily looking for children. If you're in a parking lot area or in a mall, it's always a good thing to still keep one hand on that child. Don't let them run in front of cars, and you certainly wouldn't want someone to take your child.
Detective Melissa Parker with the Fulton County Police Department. Always great to see you. Happy holidays and thanks again.
Thank you for having me.
Now, of course, if you notice something suspicious while you are shopping or in your neighborhood, Fulton County Police urge you to call 911. Students at Campbell Elementary School get important information about road safety. The Sheriff's Office hosted a pedestrian and bicycle safety session at the Fairburn School. It's all a part of a program funded through a grant from the Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
This is a program that's designed to be proactive and to teach those lessons about how to negotiate traffic and be safe in the community and the neighborhood for children while they are playing, whether they are walking to school, whether they are playing in the park, in their front yard, or riding their bicycle or otherwise. The purpose is to teach them the lessons that will keep them safe before something happens and it's too late.
According to the CDC and Safe Kids Georgia, car crashes kill more children than any other cause in the United States. The students were given reflective vests and other safety items so that drivers would be able to see them when they are riding their bikes or walking to school.
This program today is a grant from the Governor's Office of Highway Safety, and it's a partnership with the Fulton County Sheriff's Office. And we wanted to teach the kids about pedestrian safety and bicycle safety. We want our kids to be safe in Fulton County. As you know, every other day on the news you're hearing about someone getting killed as a pedestrian. So we're thinking that if we teach our kids to be safe, then they can take that knowledge home and teach their older siblings, and including their parents, about how to safely cross the street and how to be visible.
The Sheriff's Office is working on holding its first bike rodeo next year. Sounds like fun. And still to come, some top-of-the-line companies in South Fulton are honored for their work. It's a part of our district-by-district coverage next. Fulton helps to celebrate the best of South Fulton, and budget talks continue on both ends of the county. Here's this week's district-by-district coverage. We begin with Chairman John Eves as he congratulates businesses and organizations named as the best in South Fulton. The at-large commissioner joined South Fulton Lifestyle magazine at the awards reception in Fairburn. Residents and magazine readers voted on the businesses who they thought offered the best service in South Fulton County, and the winners were announced at the ceremony.
To me, South Fulton is the next frontier in terms of great growth, development, strong schools, strong neighborhoods, strong communities. And Fulton County is certainly there front and center to make sure that this is a vibrant community in terms of law enforcement, police, in terms of parks and recreation code enforcement.
The honorees included restaurants, physicians, real estate, and cosmetology businesses, just to name a few. Television anchor Deidre Duke served as the mistress of ceremony. This is the first year of publication for South Fulton Lifestyle magazine. District 2 Commissioner Bob Ellis invites the public to give their views on the 2016 budget. The North Fulton representative heard from his constituents at the Dorothy C. Benson Senior Multipurpose Facility. Commissioner Ellis shared his perspective on next year's spending plan with the group and also heard their ideas as well.
Certainly everybody has concerns about specific areas that may have a more of a passion around, but I would say from a macro standpoint, the thing that folks are most interested in is how is my money being spent in a way that maximizes outcomes for our residents.
Commissioner Ellis also hosted a town hall meeting at the Roswell Library. District 5 Commissioner Marvin Arrington Jr. kicks off his final District Dialogue Town Hall series of the year. The commissioner and county finance officials met with residents at the East Point Library. The focus of this community meeting was the 2016 budget. Finance experts detailed the priorities for next year, and residents were given the opportunity to ask questions and give ideas.
Very glad to receive the citizen input. The citizen input was tremendous, and it really helps us in the planning process.
I came out to the meeting tonight to support my organization, Future Foundation, just to learn more about what's going on, how the budget is the 2016 budget is going to impact the work that we do.
The commissioner concluded his 2015 District Dialogue meetings with stops at Zoo Atlanta and the Oak Hill Child and Adolescent Center. We'll have more on those stops next week. And finally, District 6 residents will soon be able to travel across a busy intersection with a bit more ease. Fulton's transportation team has partnered with the Georgia Department of Transportation to install a desperately needed traffic light along Highway 92 and Butner and Ridge Roads. Engineers have started the pre-signal installation process so that the light can properly be installed.
It's going to be some major changes to the intersection. As soon as we get the signal in flash, we will put out a variable message sign with information on that, advising motorists that the intersection will be changing, there will be a traffic signal. It will also be in flash operation for 5 days for folks to get used to it before it's turned on into full operation.
Residents asked District 6 Commissioner Emma I. Darnell for help facilitating this need for the community.
I am excited, pleased, and encouraged by the very hard work of the community and the state by making this day possible. We know there is much to do in our community in the area of infrastructure, but the traffic light at Butner Road and 92 is certainly a great day for us.
Several tragic car accidents have occurred at the dangerous intersection. Engineers will keep the light in the flashing position for a few weeks to alert motorists to the new signal change before activating it as an actual traffic light. And still to come, HIV and AIDS activists take their message to the stage. We'll take you there when we come back. As we continue our look at the HIV and AIDS epidemic in Fulton County, this week we focus on the county's efforts to recognize those who are trying to make a difference. FGTV's Lynn Vaughn has the story.
Lively theatrical performances featuring dancers and singers helped bring awareness to the fight against HIV in Metro Atlanta. The We Are Family Ignite Atlanta to Be Greater Than AIDS event was held at the Rialto Center for the Arts in downtown Atlanta. It honored women from our region of the country who've dramatically helped in HIV prevention. One of the honorees, Fulton's own HIV prevention program administrator, who told the audience everybody can help in the fight.
As we talk about We Are Family, it's going to take all segments of our community to raise awareness and consciousness of HIV. And so tonight's display is to focus on our faith communities.
Members of faith organizations who attended said they're excited the event focused on ways in which churches can help fight the spread of HIV.
The churches can get behind it in prayer and spiritual care and counseling. We can help out in testing in areas of high prevalence. Said, and without the faith-based community, it just isn't a whole community.
And young people recognized it's important for health professionals to aim programs at them because the disease affects them disproportionately.
HIV affects youth between the ages 18 and 24 very badly. As a young person living with HIV, I feel it's very important for us to get tested and raise awareness and break the stigma for those living with HIV so they can come forward and get tested.
The message here, everyone, especially young people, can use social media and the hashtag #WeAreFamily to help spread the word on HIV prevention and testing. Reporting for FGTV, I'm Lynn Vaughn.
Thank you very much. Meanwhile, Fulton's health team is hosting free training to help those with the most common health issues in the county. During a two-day event, health experts talked about interventions that can be used to lower chronic disease. The Partnerships to Improve Community Health, or PITCH program, organized the workshop at the Oak Hill Child, Adolescent, and Family Center. The program's overall goal is to lower obesity rates, tobacco use, and poor fitness.
This event helps us to prevent chronic disease by providing education and opportunities to address framing the problem. Someone once said, the way that you frame the problem is going to be essential to how you come up with solutions.
According to the Big Cities Health Inventory, 25.4% of adults in Fulton County are obese and 16% use tobacco products. Health experts say obesity and tobacco use leads to chronic diseases like diabetes and heart disease. Cooperative Extension agents remind residents that good health includes proper dental care. Through the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, participants learn how to plan their meals, increase fruit and vegetable consumption while lowering sodium intake, and they do it all on a tight budget. The 6 weeks of classes are offered at a number of locations to low-income families who receive the SNAP benefits.
We teach people from diabetes to high blood pressure, all the way from youth to elderly. Food demos, just showing them how they can eat healthy without having to spend so much money, and to also make it fun.
During the promotional event at the Government Center, Cooperative Extension agents also had dentists there to raise awareness on proper dental hygiene. The dentists say there is a link between poor dental health and cardiovascular disease. They recommend seeing a dentist twice a year, brushing twice a day, and flossing daily. And still to come, online shopping tips. Stay with us. And just in time for the holiday, library patrons learn some important holiday shopping safety tips. The new Milton Library hosted a free session about how to protect yourself from fraud while buying goods over the internet. Organizers also gave some tips on where to get free and low-cost shipping. They revealed which sites offer free returns and gave reviews on popular gifts.
You'll see a little lock symbol next to the website, and that's one of the things we're going to point out today. Is that's something you definitely want to be looking for, is that lock symbol, which helps identify the fact that that website is secure.
Organizers and participants say online shopping allows people to get some good deals and avoid all of the traffic and congestion at brick and mortar retailers. And finally today, it was a formal occasion that had seniors dancing all night. A live band helped bring out celebrations for the 16th anniversary ball at the Harriet G. Darnell Senior Multipurpose Facility. Seniors were dressed to impress while they enjoyed a special dinner and plenty of holiday decorations.
I got introduced to this center in 2007. I met my now husband here at the center, and we've been married for 6 years. So the center has a lot to offer.
It's a chance for them just to have a great time, just to celebrate another year of growth and a chance to engage with the community.
The senior facility hosts a number of events year-round that help keep patrons healthy and active, but seniors say this annual event is absolutely one of their favorites. And thanks again for having us. We had another great time. Well, before we go, we want to remind you that we'd like to connect with you online. Check us out on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and of course, anytime on our YouTube channel. Well, that does it for this edition of Fulton Today. Thank you for watching. Join us each week for news around and about Fulton County.